Right, let's talk fashion, some more fashion on that, well, what's come to be known as a sort of catwalk on the red carpet. I've got the director, Charles Novier, with me, and of course the fashion stylist, Rhoda Decimo. Thank you very much indeed for sticking with us there. Let's just, first of all, talk to you, Charles. Beyond what we see on the red carpet, how critical is fashion design for movie productions?
Oh, well, it's huge because pop culture, as it were, is a derivative from movies.
Right.
I mean, let me even bring it down to our local industry here, the Nollywood. There are films that some of us have shot, and it triggers off a fashion craze.
Right.
You know, in the past, you see women buying films because they want to see their favorite actors or actresses. You know, because of what they wore or the hairstyles and all that. So it is important. It's not. I think in the past 4 or 5 years, we've had more of the makeup and the fashion industry being integrated in the Nollywood films,
right?
So as it happens in Hollywood as well. So it's quite an important. It's quite important.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you to hold on there. We'll come back and talk to you in a minute because we're going to go straight away now to Los Angeles, where our entertainment correspondent Judita Da Silva is waiting to talk to me live from. LA. I presume you're on the red carpet. Where are you exactly, Judita? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am on the red carpet, Charles, and it's absolutely fever pitch because this is actually the last few minutes before everybody goes into the Dolby Theatre to my right. You're seeing the final stars, and just about to walk past me. If you keep looking, you'll see Naomi Harris is nominated for Best Actress, and she's going to be nominated for the movie Moonlight. She's the Bond girl turned superstar from England, and she's doing us proud right here in Los Angeles and Hollywood. Most of the time, the big stars tend to have to rush straight through because they're told to come in fashionably late. But at the same time, if they come this late, they've got to get into the theater really quickly or risk missing the beginning of the show.
Okay, Judita, I have to say you look rather stunning there, just looking at you from where we are on the red carpet. I imagine you're proving to be quite some competition for the people who are parading on that sort of red carpet. Who do you reckon is going to steal the show?
Yes, I am. I did bring it. Well, so far we've seen 2 exceptional outfits from Charlize Theron and Nicole Kidman, and I think right now they're ranking at the top, but we may see some other stars. Forgive me if I keep looking over my shoulder, because whenever you hear the waves of screams, it's because another big star is drawing towards us. So if I turn over, I can just see Viola Davis to my left, and she's beautiful in red. She's got a whole new haircut. She's there with her husband, who accompanies her to all of the award ceremonies, and he's here by her side once again. But as you can see, she's rushing straight through because she's got to get into the Dolby Theatre before the show starts just at 5:30. She's there she is in red. I'm not sure if you can see her. She looks beautiful, but she's not doing any interviews. Perhaps this time I won't be able to connect with my kindred spirit like I believe she is in my head.
Well, we shall live by your very words there, Judita. Let's just talk about the movies that are in contention tonight. Is the musical La La Land still all but guaranteed to take Best Picture, or can other movies overtake it?
Actually, it looks like it's going to pick up some definite ones, like Best Music, it's a shoo-in. But then we just saw Damien Chazelle and Ryan Gosling rush through. And at this stage, nothing is a sure thing because the Oscars are always independent. They don't really go by anybody else's trends. Just because they've cleaned up at every other award ceremony doesn't mean they will here. When you think about the BAFTAs, they were nominated for a record-breaking number there, but they only took away the specific ones for Emma Stone, Damien Chazelle, and Best Picture. So it doesn't mean it's going to be a clean sweep. It might be a case of, like, remember when you had Return of the King for Lord of the Rings, they had nominations in everything but took away the key awards. As long as they take away the key awards, it's a good night for La La Land.
Right, so are you a big fan of musicals, Judita? Because someone I know said they'd been put off Hollywood musicals since they saw Pierce Brosnan attempting to sing in Mamma Mia.
okay, that traumatized me, but my therapist and I worked through that. But I was raised on musicals by my mom, all the classic MGM ones. So La La Land is kind of a throwback, so I can understand why people fell in love with it so quickly, because it's a throwback to days gone by, color, big dance musicals, big costumes, and just a happy story. So it's understandable why everyone loves it so much.
Okay, Judita, for the moment, thank you very much indeed. Judita Da Silva, our entertainment correspondent, live there from the red
No
carpet
worries.
in Hollywood. Well, still in the studio is fashion analyst Rhoda Cosimo and director Charles Novia. Sorry, I had to go, move away there. We had Judita on the red carpet, as you could see. What do you think of her clothes there? I mean, what's your sort of reckoning of it?
I like it. I think it looks simple and sophisticated and
Obviously, you can't see the
clean.
whole thing. You can
Yeah,
just see
but I
half
can
of
see.
it.
Yeah, but she's very much on trend because this is the color that is on trend right now. So it's either you do color or you do like white or off-white. So she's very much on trend. I like the off-shoulder thing. She's showing off her strong shoulders and makes her look really beautiful and edgy. So I like it.
Well, I mean, Judita is a model in addition to being our entertainment correspondent. So I suppose she knows a thing or two about getting dressed. But I was talking to you earlier, Charles, about dressing people on set, and you
Right.
were saying that that's a critical element, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Depending on what the script dictates,
Right.
you need to get the costuming right. But costumes these days, in Nollywood movies, as it were, they've transcended just.
But they do cost quite a bit of money, though. I mean, do you sort of ask people sometimes, well, bring your wardrobe, let's sort of take a look and see what we can pick
No,
out from
that
it.
used to be in the past.
Right.
Right now, there's a big budget for that.
Right.
Right now, we sort of like Rhoda here, who's a
Right.
fashion designer. We could meet them and say, okay, you know what, this is it. Costume this act.
Right.
Maybe you have 2 or 3 A-list actors on your set, and you say, okay, I need special fashion houses for these guys.
Right.
You know,
So do you approach sort of fashion people
Yeah.
and say, loan us some of your clothes, or let's do a sort of, promotional deal? or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
that works, but everybody gets paid at the end of the day too
Right.
as well.
So do you get people approach? Have you actually been on a set dressing people for movies and stuff?
No,
like
not really. Not movies. Not really. I've not been on the set for movies.
that? Right. Is that something you'd quite like to do?
Yeah, maybe one day.
How much of a challenge would that be?
Not really. As he said, I think it's easier now because there's so
Right.
many fashion brands and so many fashion houses ready to dress celebrities. And as he rightly said, we now watch movies to just see what our celebrities are wearing.
Right.
And it just sets a trend for future, like for months and months and months to come. It just sets a trend for other Nigerians, Africans watching.
Sure.
Yeah, so
So are you actually impressed with what African fashion is doing? Because it's becoming quite international. I mean,
I am.
You're seeing hybrids,
Yes.
incorporations of bits of African sort of fashion into,
Yes.
mainstream international,
Yes.
fashion parades. and
yes,
things.
I really am. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Whenever I see a typical Nigerian movie now, I can actually pick fashion tips from actually seeing just the movie, seeing what they are wearing. They're always on trend.
Right.
It's almost like the directors and everyone knows what is on trend right now. I see the celebrities wearing what's on trend, and I see people copying them. So I think it's a big deal now, and I think we're improving so much, and I'm so proud of our industry right now.
Right. Now, I just want to move away from fashion for a hot second and talk to you, Charles, about the fact that Nollywood does not appear to have done quite as good as the Nigerian music industry is doing mainstream internationally. Just we're talking about how fashion's been incorporated. Nigerian music is doing spectacularly well. I mean, it's been on the British charts, on the American charts, and I'm talking about on top of the charts. In terms of recognition, Nigerian musicians have all hit the mainstream music
Right.
charts. What is holding Nollywood back?
I think it's a turn-by-turn thing, if you ask me.
I like
At a point in time, it was Nollywood everywhere.
Right.
I mean, and it still is Nollywood everywhere. But music is without borders.
Right.
Music goes, the rhythm, the pulsating. There's an African renaissance coming up right now, and the music industry in Nigeria is sort of pushing it. But if you look at it 10 years ago, it was Nollywood. It was Nollywood
Right.
pushing that. But what Nollywood has done too for the cultural sector in the whole of Africa is that it has given the young African filmmaker a voice. They begin to understand that, okay, we can tell our stories to our own local communities.
Right.
And that's what I was saying earlier when Shogun was here, that I do not believe Nigerian actors or African actors have to fight to go to Hollywood.
Right.
We have 1 billion people here. This is your local audience here. Once you hit them, once you give them the right, your creative news, everybody sees
Right.
what you had. The international market will come calling.
Okay, for the moment, gentlemen and lady, thank you very much indeed. We're going to go straight away back to where the action is, of course, the red carpet in Hollywood, and our entertainment correspondent, Judita Da Silva. What's going on there, Judita?
Oh, Charles, it just got fever pitched. Denzel arrived with his wife Pauletta, looking wonderful. He high-fived all the fans across the back, and he went straight to that podium. I'm not sure if the cameraman will be able to pick it up, but he's standing right there on the top. Will you be able to pick him up? Can you see her? She's wearing red, and he's there on the podium talking to the lady in gold. And my heart is skipping several beats. I can barely breathe, and my mouth is dry, and my emotions are all over the place because my life is complete, Charles. It is complete.
Well, we trust your descriptive capacity there, Judita, because we weren't able to see beyond the rather big, bulky camera that was in the way. But, I mean, of course, you mentioned, Fences, the movie, and Denzel Washington, who has, made waves by actually directing himself onto a Best Actor nomination. I mean, how unique is that?
When you think about it, this is an extremely exceptional feat because it seems like Denzel Washington has just this extra sparkle to his talent. When you think about it, he came from a TV star in Saint Elsewhere to a movie star, from a Broadway actor to the director's chair. He's managed to go with every new evolution in an acting career that most actors are too scared to do, because when you think about it, to be able to triumph in the theater and triumph in motion picture, to work behind the camera as well as in front of it, and also to direct someone like your colleague like Viola Davis in a movie, it shows that not only does he have the dexterity needed to do the job well, he can inspire the kind of performances that get Oscar nominations.
Now, Judita, just a hot second ago, we saw Shannon Lanier talking to Ava DuVernay, who was arriving for the ceremony. In terms of the documentaries, who are the main contenders for the top prize? Is it pretty much a race between the O.J. Simpson and the Ava DuVernay documentaries?
Yes, I would say it's pretty much a neck and neck between the two of them, because when you think about it, 13th already picked up a BAFTA for Best Documentary, so it's pretty much a shoe-in to win again. And Ava DuVernay is so well respected and well liked. And think about, she's got the backing of a powerhouse like Oprah behind her projects. She's right within the halls of power that puts her in a situation where the people that make the decisions like her, the people that fund the movies like her, and the people that watch the projects like her. So it's a win-win for her all round. So if I put my money on it, I would say Ava DuVernay would take it.
Okay, Judita, thank you very much indeed for the moment. We will be touching base with you again as soon as we get around to it. Judita Da Silva, our entertainment correspondent on the red carpet there in LA. And still with me in the studio, of course, the fashion stylist Rhoda and the director Charles. Let's just talk to you, Rhoda, about beyond just fashion. I mean, surely you watch movies, don't you? Have you seen any of these top contenders for Best Picture this year?
I'm not a big musical fan, so I haven't seen La La Land yet. I'm yet to see it. I'll probably see it this week. But I've seen Hidden Figures, so I'm really rooting for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But as Charles mentioned, I mean, people tend to go for these movies after they've actually won an award, don't they? For example, if La La Land wins, then it gives us a new shelf life.
Why did you win? It's a musical. So when I saw the nominations for La La Land, I was like, what's so special about this musical movie?
Well, I have to say, and I expect that Charles knows